Why do we fear the things we secretly desire? Ever catch yourself wanting something so bad it twists your stomach into knots? Not just nerves, but real fear, sharp and cold, like you're staring down a cliff.
That's why we fear.
Why does that happen? Why do the things we crave deep down feel like threats we can't face? It's a paradox stitched into us, a tug of war between yearning and dread that shapes our quiet moments. Today, we're peeling back the layers to figure out why desire and fear share the same heartbeat. Ready to face what's hiding in there? So why do we tremble at what we secretly want? It's not simple. It's a mess of instinct, shame, and wiring we don't fully control. Take a basic urge, like craving power. You dream of leading, but the thought of failing, or worse, succeeding and losing yourself, freezes you. Psychologists say it's the ego at play, guarding you from risks tied to what you chase. But that's just the surface. The deeper you dig, the murkier it gets. Fear's an old friend, built to keep us alive. It screams run when a lion's near. Makes sense, right? Yet here it is, tagging along with dreams of love, freedom, or breaking rules. You want someone so much it aches, but what if they see you, really see you, and turn away? That's fear hijacking desire, turning a wish into a warning. Maybe it's society's fault. We're taught some wants are wrong, dirty, or dangerous, so we bury them, and they fester. Ever felt guilt sneak in when you imagine stepping out of line? That's conditioning, rules drilled into us from day one. But what if it's not just rules? What if it's us, scared of what we'd become if we got it? A taste of freedom might unravel you. Power might corrupt. Freud would nod here. He said our IDs crave wild things, but our superegos slap them down. Desire's raw, fear's the leash. They're locked in a brawl inside your skull. And then there's the unknown. Wanting something big means stepping into fog, no map, no safety net. Ever shy away from a dream because it's too vague, too far? That's fear of losing control, of the chaos that might swallow you if you leap. But here's the kicker. Some say we fear desire itself, not just the fallout. It's too big, too alive, and we're not built to handle it. Doubt creeps in fast. Are we broken for feeling this, or is it normal? Studies show fear and excitement light up the same brain spots. Adrenaline doesn't care if you're thrilled or terrified. So when you crave something forbidden, your heart races either way. But why does it tip toward dread instead of joy? Maybe it's self-defense. We'd rather dodge pain than risk it. Let's untangle this. Fear and desire aren't enemies. They're twins, born from the same spark in your brain. Start with biology. Dopamine floods when you want something, revving you up, but cortisol tags along, prepping you for danger. It's a survival trick. Wanting food kept us hunting, but fear kept us sharp. Today, it's Messier. You crave fame, your brain cheers, then freaks at the spotlight's glare. That's the amygdala chiming in, scanning for threats in every prize. Psychology digs deeper. Carl Jung saw shadows in us, parts we hide because they scare us. Desire lives there, wild and unpolished. We want it, but owning it means facing the dark. Ever dream of breaking free, then flinch at what you'd leave behind? That's the shadow talking, fear cloaking what you long for. Studies back this. People avoid goals they secretly crave if the cost feels too raw, too real. Society piles on, norms box us in, label some desires bad or selfish. Want to ditch it all and wander? Guilt kicks in. You're not supposed to. But strip that away, and it's still us, fear of change, of judgment, of the self we'd meet if we grabbed it. Neuroscience says uncertainty amps this up. The brain hates gaps, so it paints worst-case scenes. Crave love, and it whispers rejection. Crave power, and it screams downfall. And yet, desire's pull doesn't quit. It's fuel, the pulse of being human. Fear's just the guardrail, keeping us from tipping too far. Ever notice how close thrill and terror feel? Bungee jumpers chase that edge. We all do, in quieter ways. The trick's in the balance. Fear protects, but it can choke what makes us alive. I've felt it, wanting something so fierce it scares me stupid. Like chasing a dream job, but dreading I'd crash and burn if I got it. Happens all the time, I'll crave connection, then clam up, terrified they'll see through me. It's 2025, and life's full of these traps. Social media flaunts what we want, then stabs us with doubt. You've been there too, right? Wishing for more, then shrinking from it. It's like my mind's at war, one half reaching, the other pulling back. Maybe it's just me, but I bet it's us all, wrestling shadows we can't shake. Real life backs this up. Look at people who chase fame. Take a pop star like Billie Eilish. She said in interviews how she wanted the stage, but the weight of eyes on her sparked panic attacks. She craved it, built it, then feared it might swallow her whole. Or think of entrepreneurs like Elon Musk. He's driven by wild dreams, colonizing Mars, but admits the stress and exposure keep him up at night. Desire pushed him there, fear tags along, whispering failure or isolation. Even regular folks feel it. A friend of mine wanted to quit her job and travel, save for years, but when the day came, she froze, scared she'd lose herself out there. History's littered with this too. Vincent van Gogh painted like his soul depended on it, craving beauty and recognition, but feared his own mind's chaos would undo him. It did. He cut off his ear, torn between genius and dread. Or take modern love. Dating apps promise connection, but studies show folks swipe less when they fear rejection more than they want the match. In 2022, a Hinge survey found 70% of users hesitated to message first, craving love but dreading the no. It's not just tech, it's us, wired to pause at the edge. I see it in small ways too. I'll want to speak up, lead a project, but choke, scared I'll flop or stand out too much. A coworker once told me he craved a promotion, but when it landed, he feared he couldn't hack it. He quit 6 months later. We're not alone. A 2023 study from the American Psychological Association showed 62% of people avoid risks they secretly want, from asking for raises to moving cities, all because fear outweighs the pull. It's 2025, and the world's louder, faster, desires dangled everywhere, but fear's grip tightens too. What do you want that scares you stiff? Is it love, freedom, or something you won't even whisper? Drop it below. I want to know. Ever feared a desire so much you buried it? Share that twist. Let's unpack it together. Like if this hit home, subscribe for more raw dives into what makes us tick.